والحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين، سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب قلوبنا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. صلى الله عليك يا سيدي ويا مولاي يا رسول الله. صلى الله عليك يا سيدي ويا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله، يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا باب نجاة الأمة، ويا عبرة كل مؤمن ومؤمنة، يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز فوزا عظيما. أعظم الله أجورنا وأجوركم بمصابنا بأبي عبد الله الحسين، وجعلنا الله وإياكم من الطالبين بثأره مع وليه الإمام المنصور المؤيد المهدي من آل محمد. قال الله تعالى في كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن جاءكم فاسق بنبأ، يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن جاءكم فاسق بنبأ فتبينوا أن تصيبوا قوما بجهالة فتصبحوا على ما فعلتم نادمين. صدق الله العلي العظيم. Respected brothers and sisters, illuminate your hearts and your minds with the remembrance of Muhammad and wa Ali Muhammad. A second louder one for the love of Sayyidina wa Mawlana al-Imam Abi Abdullah al-Husayn alayhi salam. A third loudest one for the love of Sayyidina wa Mawlana al-Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib. We live in a time where information is power. Media is power. One simple post can start a war. One simple statement can make people lose their reputations and start conflict and wars and fights all over the world. A lie once broadcasted from a small, tiny phone will reach millions upon millions, if not billions of people in this current time. Tools over time change. Media used to be from newsletters, from printing stations, and now it's easy and accessible and very quick to access over the phone. Everyone has social media platforms: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, which is now called X, and other platforms. Tools have changed, but one thing remains. Whoever controls the media, whoever controls the information, will control the narrative, will control eventually the people. We've been witnessing, and I mentioned this before, we've been witnessing since October 7, 2023, the biggest genocide in modern day history taking place. Justified genocide. Justified murdering of people. Innocent civilians. We're seeing on a daily basis bombs and rockets falling on people's homes, their markets, hospitals, schools, universities. There is no university in Gaza now. No school in Gaza. Under the pretext of what? Israel has the right to defend itself. That's mainstream media. And they do control the narrative. Anyone right now in Western societies, they tell you, yes, Israel has the right to defend itself. How come an attack can happen on Israel October 7th, and Israel has the right, does not have the right to defend itself? You know, my dear brothers and sisters, since October 7 of 2023, it's almost going to be 2 years from now. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. 1,195 deaths in Israel over the past 2 years. The war since 2 years. 1,000 and let's say 200 people. Israelis were killed. If you look at the other hand, what they say, this is what they say and what has been announced and determined. 57,000 Palestinians, whether in northern Gaza, southern Gaza, central Gaza, Khan Yunis, outside, inside, have been bombed on a daily basis. 57,000 souls lost their lives because of Israel's attacks taking place. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. Please, I need everyone to pay attention. I get distracted when there are noises. Please, صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. 57,000 people lose their lives, while only 1,200 Israelis lost their lives. Who controls the narrative? As if 57,000 animals and sheep are being killed. And this was in Gaza, under the pretext of Israel has the right to defend itself. What about Iran? What about Iran? Who started the attack? Just a couple days ago. No. But because they control the media and the narrative, the headlines were saying what? Israel launched preemptive strikes on Iran. Preemptive. Because Iran has very dangerous weapons, We have to make sure we're safe. Therefore, we will launch preemptive strikes on Iran. Okay, what about Iran doesn't have the right to defend itself? According to estimates, 935 souls, Shia of Ali ibn Abi Talib, lost their lives in Iran. Look at who controls the narrative. My dear brothers and sisters, this shows you the ugly truth about mainstream media. In a country that supposedly tells you freedom of speech, but mainstream media is controlled by who? Mainstream media tells you what? Mainstream media is what controls the narrative. My dear brothers and sisters, who remembers 9/11 and the Islamophobic statement that were said after 9/11 and the Islamophobic actions that were made after 9/11? TSA, they had to invent a new system in airports to supposedly enhance the security. Yes, they enhance security, but who's targeted? Muslims. If you have a beard, you're stopped. If you look like you're a Muslim, you're wearing hijab, you're stopped in the airport. Islamophobia was created and invented in this country after 9/11. My dear brothers and sisters, why? Because of media. Because of the power of media and the power of controlling media and controlling the narrative. My dear brothers and sisters, one statement can start wars and conflict and problems and fitna within society. Who is telling us the news? Who is feeding us with those statements? Who is feeding us with information? We have to make sure we are taking our news and our information. The source of the information comes from a verified, moderate individual, no extreme. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us to beware of such statements. Make sure you pay attention, do your research and your homework on verifying the information that you are being fed with. The world today is flooded with false information. What we call now, what? Fake news. Governments push propagandas. Influencers, they twist stories. And the masses, the people, they fall for all of that. Because they are being led. They are being misled. They are being misguided. People slander others. People, so many people, even Muslims, even Shia, they slander others. Women, especially, they slander women. They slander married women. My dear brothers and sisters, this is haram. You hear something, you see something, there's a big difference. Don't just make false assumptions because someone told you, regardless of who this person is. Don't make statements about someone's honor and integrity. Slander people's honor. And libel people. You slander people. You do tashhir in people. And even when someone is doing, and even what they are doing is haram. That's not the way. The way is not to slander. The way is not to go and publicize what people did or said, or what you assume people did. Maybe someone doesn't do anything haram, but because I disagree with it, I'm going to slander. I'm going to go and publicize. And I'm going to give negative impression about this person. Do namima. Do ghiba. Do tashhir. What does our master, Al-Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib say? He says, ما بين الحق والباطل, between haqq and batil, what? How many? 5 kilometers? What? 4 fingers. And he puts it here, between your ears and between your eyes. Haqq and batil. Truth and falsehood. Truth and fake news. الباطل أن تقول سمعت والحق أن تقول رأيت. You want to know who's falsehood? I heard. And saying something slandering people's honor. And haq is when you see someone doing something haram, addressing something haram. But none of this is new, my dear brothers and sisters. Slandering, fake news, all of that is not new. Even in the early days of Islam, my dear brothers and sisters, false information was spread. There were those who fabricated the narrations and the news. And they would throw it and justify it to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They would throw it on the Prophet. My dear brothers and sisters, tonight let us examine the lecture in the following phases. And I want everyone to pay attention here. Number one, Quran's way of tackling false news and slander. How does Quran tackle fake news and slander? Second, isn't it haram to publicize and pinpoint others? What if they are wrongdoing? If it's haram to slander and to publicize and to pinpoint in front of everyone that this person is saying such and such, doing such and such, what if they are wrongdoing? Three, the big sources of fake news after the time of the Holy Prophet. Who were the fabricators of Hadith? Not the narrators of Hadith. The fabricators of Hadith. The liars on behalf of the Holy Prophet. Four, the fake news that resulted in the tragedy of Karbala, murdering the grandson of Khatam al-Anbiya, and murdering not even him, his family, including his 6-month-old infant. Let us examine this. I need everyone's attention in the next couple minutes. Sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Quran's way of tackling fake news and slander. There was a man by the name of Al-Walid bin Uqbah or Al-Walid bin Aqabah. This man was with the Prophet. Supposedly he's a companion. The Prophet sends him on a duty. He has a task to fulfill. What is his duty? I send you to a tribe outside of Medina by the name of Banu al-Mustalaq. Bani al-Mustalaq. A tribe, big tribe. Go to them, receive zakat and come back. You are my messenger to them. He goes. He tells them zakat. It's zakat times. They don't really care about him. They ignore him. And honestly, he's a man to ignore. He's not a man of known to be close to the Prophet. But still, they have to abide to the rules of the Prophet. He is a messenger of the Prophet. So he quickly sees that they don't like him, they don't really respect him. He goes back. And he fears them. So he doesn't insist, he doesn't prove. They forget him, he forgets them. He goes back to Medina, he tells him, Ya Rasulullah, this tribe does not want to pay zakat, and they became kuffar. They are not Muslims anymore. They said, go back, we don't want that prophet, we don't worship that Lord. There's a big difference. Not paying zakat and being a kafir. Not listening to this man, Al-Walid bin Uqba, and being against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Prophet. He gives the impression that they became what? Murtaddeen. They go back, they convert back to the old faith they had, worshipping the idols. And they want to kill the Prophet. Allahu Akbar. What does the Prophet say? He says, okay, if that is the case, then let us all be armed and prepared to go and face them. If they want to kill us, we're going to defend. We're going to fight. If bloodshed is what's going to happen, then we're ready for bloodshed. Right away, Jibreel comes down. And he recites the following verse that I recited in the beginning. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن جاءكم فاسق بنبأ فتبينوا أن تصيبوا قوما بجهالة فتصبحوا على ما فعلتم نادمين. O you who believe, verify the information that you receive from who? From a fasiq. Apparently Walid bin Uqba was a fasiq. And there are so many lessons that we learn here. Rasulullah first wants to show the reality of Walid bin Uqba. Later on, Walid bin Uqba becomes against Ali ibn Abi Talib. That's one. Two, he was known as the alcoholic governor of Kufa because he's relatives with Uthman, the third Khalifa. He puts him wali on Kufa. And he was known to the Shi'i, the non-Shi'i, the Sunni, the non-Sunni, to the world as the alcoholic governor of Kufa. He once led prayer, Salatul Subh, in them. He prays Salatul Subh. Salatul Subh is how many rak'ahs? I ask you, Salatul Subh is how many rak'ahs? 2. He prays it 4. And then the people of Kufa, they ask the Khalifa, Uthman, this man, your governor, the wali on us, he's praying salah wrong. He's coming drunk into the masjid. Do you accept that? They say no. They send him back to Medina. Uthman tells him, you're my relative, but why do you do that? So now I have to publicly punish you. I have to punish you in front of everyone. So Uthman takes him to the streets of Kufa and he says, who would punish him? He has to be whipped, a certain amount of whips before the whips of Akhirah. Who would like to come and yuqimu alayhi al-had and punish him? No one. And then one man comes far away, and it was none other than Amir al-Mu'mineen. He comes and he whips this man and he punishes him. This man, years before Allah detects his fisq, years before Allah detects his animosity against Amir al-Mu'mineen, his sickened, his wicked soul against the Quran, praying drunk. What a fasiq. My dear brothers and sisters, another incident that the Quran tackles. How Quran tackles fake news. There is an incident that took place and majority of Muslims talk about it, but until today, most Muslims don't know the reality of the story. And I will tell you the story, but I ask you to pay close attention to it. Because this story, there are 2 stories, 2 scenarios. In our books, something. In Muslim majority books, it's something else. What is this event called? It is called Hadithatul Ifk. The Ifk. Ifk means the obvious lie, the biggest lie, the biggest slander. What took place? My dear brothers and sisters, in their books, Total different story. They say the Holy Prophet one day was traveling along with Muslims, and he takes his wife with him. Which wife does he take? Aisha ibn Abi Bakr, bint Abi Bakr. He takes her along with the Muslims, and they are riding camels and their vehicles, and they are traveling outside of Medina. Suddenly, I'm cutting the story short. Suddenly, Aisha, she's sitting on a camel, something she's really known for. She dropped something. She dropped something. And she does not want to distract the entire group of travelers, the entire group of Muslims. She doesn't want to bother the Prophet. So she has a servant or one of the Muslims. She takes him with her to go and find that thing that she dropped. The piece of bracelet, whatever it is she's wearing, to pick it up. So she goes. Later on, the Prophet realizes, where's Aisha? Where's Aisha? We've been traveling and Aisha's not with us. They wait. Then they see Aisha approaching. She found her thing. She picked it up along with that Muslim. And they're approaching her and that Muslim. So what do the Muslims, some of them say, they call them the munafiqeen. What do they say? They say, Aisha did something haram with this guy. Aisha is in a relationship with this man. So she was being accused. Right away, Allah sends Jibreel. Jibreel comes with a verse from the Holy Quran proving the bara'ah of Aisha. She is clean, she is tahir. That's in their books. That is Hadithat al-Ifk in the books of the majority of Muslims. What is Hadithat al-Ifk? The event of Ifk, the event of slander and the biggest lie in our books. Hadithat al-Ifk in our books. Amir al-Imam, the Holy Prophet, had a wife by the name of Maria al-Qibtiyah. Maria al-Qibtiyah. She gave birth to who? Ibrahim, the son of the Holy Prophet, who passed away in a very emotional way. One day he's sitting him on his lap. Imam al-Hussein is on his other lap. And Jibreel comes and he tells him, choose, Ya Rasulullah. You want Hussein to stay or Ibrahim to stay? You can't have both. He chooses Ibrahim in a very emotional way. Ibrahim passes away after 3-4 days. So Rasulullah was seen crying for Ibrahim. A lady comes to him. A lady comes to Rasulullah from his home, one of his wives. She tells him, Ya Rasulullah, don't be upset. Don't be upset for Ibrahim. Now, you would think, why is she saying that? Maybe she's trying to comfort the Prophet. Maybe she's trying to be nice to the Prophet. Don't be upset. Allah will give you sons in paradise. Allah will replace him with so many other children. What did she say? Don't be upset, Ya Rasulullah. Ibrahim wasn't even your son. Allahu Akbar. Ibrahim is not my son? Then who is he? She tells him, well, listen, Ya Rasulullah. How did you marry Maria? The story of the marriage of Maria, Rasulullah sent messengers to the kings of his time. Kisra Malik al-Furs, Qaisar al-Rum, wal-Muqawqas was in Alexandria in Egypt. Some of them killed the messenger, showing that they refuse Islam. We will not accept Islam. Kisra kills and burns the messenger. This man, Muqawqas of Egypt, the king of Egypt, what does he do? How does he respond to the Prophet? He does not accept Islam, but at the same time he was respectful. He sends gifts along with servants and maids to the Holy Prophet. At least he's being kind and respectful. Who does he send? Maria al-Qibtiyya, and he sends along with her another servant. Her name was Nisreen or Sireen, Nisreen. Along with one man who was known as a doctor, he was always with them, by the name of Najih. Najih. They sent him to the Holy Prophet with gifts and gold and silver and all of that. They arrived to Medina. Rasulullah, he takes Maria for himself. He marries her. And he gives her colleague, Nisreen, to one of his companions by the name of Hassan bin Thabit, the famous poet who used to praise the Holy Prophet. He was known as Sha'iri Rasulullah. He was praising Amir al-Mu'mineen. The day of Ghadir, he has very great lines of poetry praising Amir al-Mu'mineen and Rasulullah. So he gives Nisreen to this man, and he takes Maria al-Qibtiyya. Najih, because he was a doctor, he keeps him in the city of Medina. And they say, funny story, one day Najih, after a period of time, he comes to the Prophet and he tells him, Ya Rasulullah, I'm a doctor, but no one's getting sick in your city. I want to practice. No one's getting sick. So Ya Rasulullah, make a prayer, let someone get sick, let me try to exercise my work. Rasulullah tells him a very beautiful line. He tells him, نَحْنُ قَوْمٌ إِذَا جِعْنَا أَكَلْنَا. We are a type of people, a group of people, once we are hungry, we eat. And we leave food, we stop eating, and we still have time and space to eat. But we still leave it. That's the law given to us by Allah and the Holy Prophet. That's why we don't get sick. So, that's the story about Najih. This wife of the Prophet, a lady in his house, she tells him, Ya Rasulullah, Najih, he had a relationship with your wife, Maria al-Qibtiyya. Ibrahim is not your son, Ya Rasulullah. He is the son of Najih and Maria. Astaghfirullah. She accuses the wife of Khatamul Anbiya in zina, in haram. And accusing the doctor, the Egyptian doctor who became a Muslim, in haram. What does Rasulullah do? So beautiful. Rasulullah proves before saying anything. He says, okay, Maria committed haram? Okay. Who does he call? Ya Ali, come to me. The man that he would always call. He tells him, Ya Ali, go to Najih, the doctor, and I want you to get the information from him and go finish him, kill him. So this lady, she thought, khalas, her plan worked. Ali is gonna go and finish that guy. Amir al-Mu'mineen goes, they say this man, Najih, the doctor, he was in the farm. Suddenly he sees from far Ali ibn Abi Talib running towards him. And Ali ibn Abi Talib has his sword out. And he tells him, he sees Ali ibn Abi Talib running towards him. So he gets very scared. He starts running away from Ali ibn Abi Talib, thinking Ali ibn Abi Talib is going to kill him right now. How am I going to rescue myself and save myself from the sword of Ali? So he runs away. Where does he go? He can't run away from Ali ibn Abi Talib. He climbs the tree. He starts climbing a tree. He starts climbing a tree. He was wearing a dishdasha. He falls from the tree. He wasn't wearing anything under. The hadith says, not me. And this story we have to learn to know who is the accuser and learn who spreads false information. What happens? He falls and his private is exposed. His private area is exposed. So Imam Ali is seeing this man has nothing. This man does not have the capacity to have a marital relationship. Eunuch. Nothing. Nothing's there. So he goes to Rasulullah, Imam Ali, and he takes him. He tells him, Ya Rasulullah, you told me to finish this man. Do you want me to be strict when you tell me I don't question and say anything? Or do you want me to atamahal, to think, see whether this is possible or not? He tells him, no, tamahal. He tells him, Ya Rasulullah, this man does not have the capacity to commit haram. He does not have the capacity to get married. He tells him, so it's not even possible. Right away, Jibreel comes and he recites the following verse. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ جَاءُوا بِالْإِفْكِ, those who came to accuse the biggest lie and the biggest slander of the wife of the Prophet. عُصْبَةٌ مِنْكُمْ, they are from your home. They are from your family, from your people. لَا تَحْسَبُوهُ شَرًّا لَكُمْ بَلْ هُوَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ. Don't think this slander and this lie that was made is a problem. No, it's actually good. Because those liars were exposed. بَلْ هُوَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مِّنْهُمْ مَكْتَسَبْ مِنْهُمُ الْإِثْمِ وَالَّذِي تَوَلَّى كِبَرَهُ مِنْهُمْ لَهُ عَذَابٌ عَظِيمٌ. Those that accuse and those that make false statements, slandering people. Don't slander anyone. She slandered the wife of Rasulullah. She slandered an innocent man. My dear brothers and sisters, the second point, isn't it haram to publicize and pinpoint people and pinpoint others? What if they are wrongdoing? If someone is doing something wrong, haram. Do I publicize it? Do I go and do tashheer and talk about it and slander them publicly? Or do I follow certain steps? The question is, the answer is, libeling others, publicizing others, slandering others by default is haram. It's not permissible. And it is considered as a great ma'siyah. And I just wish people understand how serious this is. Imagine you say something, you make false statements about others. You know what this could lead to? Putting their life in danger, putting their honor, damaging their honor and their reputation, my dear brothers and sisters. And so many people want to constantly talk about others, whether it's good or bad. Good or bad. What did they cook? What are they wearing? Seriously. Some of us within our families and our communities. What they're cooking, what they're eating, where they're traveling, where they're going, what they buy, what kind of car, what kind of clothing they wear. So what? Why do you care? Why do you care? Why are you noisy? Why do you have to talk about others? Talk about yourself. Some people, they have that nature. I don't share my information, I share others' information. MashaAllah, he or she is so secretive about themselves, but when it comes to others, I'm the most public human being ever. Seriously. We have to cure this problem within us. Why talk about others, whether good or bad? Praising, sure. But talking and giving their information and all of that, you don't need to know all of that. If you know it, you don't need to share it. You don't need to tell it to the world. Poor guy tells someone a secret. Second day he finds it on CNN. That's how it is. Within our societies, within our families and our people. My dear brothers and sisters, we have to stay away from things like that. Talking about others. Go get a life. Go get a life, seriously. Talk about yourself. Think about yourself. Who cares about others? My dear brothers and sisters, what do we do if someone is slandering? Number one, you approach them. You approach them, the one labeling, the one libeling, the one that is exposing others, the one that is causing fitna. You approach them. So many times, things could be peacefully solved. Peacefully. Go. One nice word, one smile can fix everything. Seriously. Be a man and a woman of wisdom. Be a person known for wisdom. Show your akhlaq. So many problems could be waived with akhlaq. And I mentioned this before. Have akhlaq when you speak to people in the beginning. Identify this. Tell them that this is haram. What you're doing, libeling others, publicizing others, is haram. Number two, and this has to be in order. The first step is you approach them and you address it. Second, you minimize the casualties. Whatever damage they caused, you try to fix it. Going to those hearing the lies and telling them that this was a lie and fixing the problem. Praising the person that is negatively being lied upon, lied at, lied on. Number three, address the way of the lie. What kind of lie is it? What kind of slandering is taking place? For example, this type of slander that Walid bin Uqba was doing, this type of false news, fake news and false statements, what was it? It was putting a tribe, their lives, their children, their integrity at risk. They were going to wage wars against them because of this fake statement. So you have to address the weight of the lie. What kind of lie is it? Causing fitna and conflict between families and societies. That's important. That's something that you have to address. Sometimes the best solution, sometimes, not all the time, and especially when it's a silly thing, to ignore it, even if they're lying. So what? If it's something silly, if it's something nonsense, don't worry about it. Allah is your wali. Allah will defend you. There was a scholar, one day he heard they were cursing him in Iraq. And in Iraq, by the way, I'm Iraqi, so I have the right to say this. In Iraq, when someone is cursing someone, everyone starts cursing that person. Suddenly they praise this person, everyone starts praising this person. Very few times they stop and think. So in Iraq, they're cursing the scholar. So they come and they tell him, Maulana, you know what they're saying about you? They're saying that you have millions of dollars, you have property, you're stealing people's money, you're causing all of that. So, what do you say, Maulana? Do you want to go on the minbar, defend yourself? He read a hadith that a mu'min that is being falsely slandered, they're talking about you, they're cursing you, they're saying something about you, negative, and a lie is being said about you. Don't worry, leave it to Allah. Allah is the best bodyguard. Allah will defend you. Leave it to Allah. My dear brothers and sisters, they are requesting that we move forward. Sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. My dear brothers and sisters, the last step that you should resort to, the last step You do all of these, you check all of those boxes, you can publicize it. You can make it public that this person is lying. This person is putting lives in danger. And this is where, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا إِنْ جَاءَكُمْ فَاسِقٌ بِنَبَإٍ فَتَبَيَّنُوا أَن تُصِيبُوا قَوْمًا بِجَهَالَةٍ فَتُصْبِحُوا عَلَى مَا فَعَلْتُمْ نَادِمِينَ. Allah in the Quran talks about Walid ibn Uqba, yes. Because he was putting lives in danger and he was lying not to any normal people. He was lying to the best of God's creation. He was lying to Rasulullah. My dear brothers and sisters, damaging people's honor and their integrity, damaging homes and families. And that's where the second ayah, Hadithat al-Ifk, plays a role. Publicize it, yes. If someone is damaging people's honor and their integrity, you have to stop them. You have to stand in their face. You have to say something. Because the lie will continue to move on. Why did I mention Hadithat al-Ifk? Why did I mention that? Because later on, the same lady, I'm not going to mention her name, the same lady that makes that false assumption and false accusation and slandering of the wife of the Prophet, later on, she realized God is talking about her in the Quran. God is exposing her in the Quran. She has to find an alternative. She's not going to accept it that God curses her in the Quran and people know about that. So she changes the narrative. Media plays role. Now it's about me, not about Maria al-Qibtiyya. Now you know who I'm talking about. She changes the narrative. She controls it. She has ruwat, narrators working for her, on her payroll. My dear brothers and sisters, lying in the names of religion, that's something we have to identify. ISIS, why do we reject ISIS? Why is it that we were against ISIS? Because this is causing bloodshed, massacres. We have to tell them and tell the world that Islam of ISIS is not Islam. That's not the right Islam. Al-Qaeda and 9/11 and Julani, all of that, that's not Islam. Those terrorists, even though they label them as Muslims, we have to always publicize that they will never go under the foundation of Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Third, the big sources of fake news after the time of the Prophet. False narrations after the Prophet. Who were the fabricators of Hadith? Rasulullah says, "Man kadhaba alayya," or "Man kadhaba alayya muta'ammidan falyatabawwa maq'adahu min an-nar." Whoever lies, says Rasulullah said this, Rasulullah did that, Rasulullah went to this place, gave this person this position, named this person this title. Who lied, let him reserve a spot for himself in Nar Jahannam. My dear brothers and sisters, the Shia are accused of depending their faith on one man. He is the founder of Shia. He is the founder of the school of thought of the Tashayyu'. Who's this man? Abdullah ibn Saba. Abdullah ibn Saba, the founder of the Saba'i religion, the Saba'i faith, the Saba'i sect, and Tashayyu'. Who's this person? They say that this person, he came after the Holy Prophet, and he had extreme devotion to Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam and the family of the Ahl al-Bayt. And he kept on saying, Ali is the only one that I will take. Not Rasulullah, not anyone. He is the only one. And he started evolving slowly to say that Ali, he is God himself. Astaghfirullah. He was labeling Imam Ali as God, giving Imam Ali alayhi salam godly and exclusively godly attribute. He was a mughali. And the other day we were talking about ghulu. A contemporary scholar who passed away recently by the name of As-Sayyid Murtada al-Askari. He says Abdullah ibn Saba was a fake personality, never existed. We are accused by a fake personality. He was never there. No, never there. And any narrations that are there are fake. And he writes a book about Abdullah ibn Saba by the name of Abdullah ibn Saba wa Asatir Ukhra. Abdullah ibn Saba was a fairy tale. Never took place. Fake, fake, fake. Now, some scholars say no, he was actually there. Abdullah ibn Saba was there. Yes, he was a mughali. Yes, he had ghulu, intense love that took him outside of Islam, according to some Shia scholars. Ibn Abi al-Hadid al-Mu'tazili in Sharh Nahj al-Balagha, what does he say? He says during the time of Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam in his khilafah, a man by the name of Abdullah ibn Saba from Yemen, along with a group of people, they come to Kufa to see Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. And Abdullah ibn Saba looks at Imam Ali in his face and he tells him, Ya Ali, anta ant. Imam Ali tells him, what do you mean anta ant? You are you. What do you mean you are you? He tells him, anta huwa Allah. You are God. Imam Ali alayhi salam tells him, wayhak. And he takes him to arrest him and wanting to punish him. So his group of people, they tell him, Ya Imam Ali, leave him. He did tawbah, khalas, astaghfirullah. He worships Allah now. Imam Ali leaves him. And he tells him, but you don't stay in Kufa. Kufa, you have to leave it. He kicks him to Madain in Iraq. Go to Madain. He leaves Kufa. This was one, Abdullah ibn Saba, that we are accused for. And until today, all of our scholars, they say Abdullah ibn Saba either was not there, khalas, mission, problem solved. Or if he's there, we are bari'een. We do not take our faith from Abdullah ibn Saba because he was mughali. Number two, Ka'b al-Ahbar. Their guy, their narrator. He was a Jew that became Muslim after the death of the Holy Prophet. And he fed the books of tradition and narrations with so many false ahadith that are called Israeliyat. So many Israeli narrations. One of the companions, this is in their books, accepted by all Muslims. He says, one day we walk into the masjid, we see Ka'b al-Ahbar sitting on the pulpit, supposedly reading ruwayat and ahadith on behalf of Rasulullah to the people. Because what did Khalifa number 2 do? He said, no one can say or write any hadith by Rasulullah. The only man that has permission is Ka'b al-Ahbar. Ajib. Ka'b al-Ahbar, the one who becomes Muslim after the Prophet, he has permission. Abu Dhar has no permission. Salman has no permission. Miqdad and Ammar, they don't have permission. Yes, only Ka'b al-Ahbar. He walks into the masjid, Ka'b al-Ahbar sitting on the pulpit. Subhanallah, the Jew teaching Muslims what to do. And he was reading verses from the Torah, verses from the Injil, teaching in the masjid of Rasulullah. They were friends from that day, my dear brothers and sisters. No wonder why I see Muslims are best buddies with Israel now. Seems like from day one they were buddies. My dear brothers and sisters, number 3, Abu Hurairah. I don't want to call him the narrator of hadith. Why? Because I have alhamdulillah, a working mind, and a critical mind that I question his hadith. I don't call him narrator, I call him a fabricator. His name is Abdul Rahman bin Sakhr ad-Dawsi. He comes from Yemen, from Qabila Daws al-Yamaniya. And this man becomes Muslim year 7 after Hijrah, after Khaybar. Supposedly he witnesses the life of Rasulullah for how many years? 3 years. 3 years. Can you believe he is the biggest narrator in the books of narrations, in the books of tradition? Abu Bakr doesn't have the amount of narrations Abu Hurairah has. Umar does not narrate as much as Abu Hurairah. Ali ibn Abi Talib does not narrate as much as Abu Hurairah. Over 5,000 narrations? Over 5,000 narrations on Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. My dear brothers and sisters, Abu Bakr has narrated only 142 hadith. Umar, 537. And this man comes with over 5,300 hadiths on Rasulullah within only 3 years. Something's off here. Something is questionable. His relationship with Umar was not good. Umar did not like him. Umar put him first a wali on Bahrain, a governor on Bahrain, and he was taking lots of money. And Umar one day calls him, he tells him, you come back, I have removed you from the government of Bahrain. And he tells him, bring all of the money that you made. And one day he curses him in front of everyone, and he wants to beat him in front of everyone in Masjid Rasulullah in Medina. His relationship with Uthman and Muawiyah was good. He was on good terms. But his relationship with the Ahlul Bayt was not too good. There is no hadith by him talking about the Ahlul Bayt. All of the 5,000, over 5,000 hadiths, nothing praising Ali ibn Abi Talib, nothing praising Fatima al-Zahra, Imam al-Hasan, Imam al-Hussein. In fact, he has narrations that belittle the commander of the faithful, Al-Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen. He belittles him. He disrespects him. And not only, forget Ali ibn Abi Talib, you know who he disrespects? He disrespects Rasulullah himself. How do I say that? Let me give you some samples and I will move on. My dear brothers and sisters, what does Abu Hurairah say about Rasulullah? He says, Kana al-Nabi, one day the Holy Prophet was seen in front of everyone urinating standing. This is the Nabi of Abu Hurairah. Alhamdulillah, my Nabi is different. What does he say about Musa alayhi salam? He says one day Musa, Malik al-Maut comes to him, the angel of death comes to Musa, the prophet of Allah, Kalimullah Musa, taking the soul of Musa, right? That's when we see the angel of death coming to taking the soul. What does Musa? Musa doesn't want to go. He wants to stay. So he punches him in the face. Musa punches Malik al-Maut in the face. That's Musa of Abu Hurairah. What else? He says one day Rasulullah, he has multiple wives. One day he's roaming between the rooms of his wives, and he enters 4 of the rooms and he exits, and he is choosing which room should I enter, which room should I go to, which lady should I visit. That's one. That's another. Another hadith about Rasulullah. He says the Holy Prophet was being oppressed by Quraysh and his people, the Munafiqeen. So he couldn't take it too long. One day the Prophet goes on a mountain, he stands on a cliff, and he's like, Khalas, I'm going to commit suicide. Jibreel comes to him, he tells him, Ya Rasulullah, you are the Prophet, you commit suicide? This is the Nabi of Abu Hurairah, and this is why I will never take any hadith from Abu Hurairah. Another thing, he says Rasulullah, one day he's bored. Rasulullah is bored. What does he do? He tells Aisha, let's go on a race and let's run together. So she wins. But he keeps on trying to win, he can't, until he wins. He tells her, see Aisha, I will always win. This is the Nabi of Abu Hurairah. And I'm quickly going over it. And he says, one day the Prophet was saying a statement that all Muslimin will go to heaven. So one man asked him, Ya Rasulullah, even if they commit haram, zina, and they drink alcohol, they go to heaven? What does Rasulullah say? He says, even if they commit zina and they drink alcohol. This is what Abu Hurairah says. What else does Abu Hurairah say? He says, the father of the commander of the faithful, Abu Talib al-Qaddis al-A'zam. What does he say about him? He says he died as a kafir. Abu Talib dies as a kafir. How? He has a hadith. He says, Abbas, the uncle of the Prophet, once told the Prophet, Ya Rasulullah, how did you let it slide that Abu Talib, your uncle, my brother, goes to hell? What does Rasulullah respond to his uncle? This is years after the death of Abu Talib. He tells him, O Uncle Abbas, O uncle, let him be thankful because of me. Nar does not get to his entire body. It only goes over his leg. That's it. Over his feet, his ankle. إِنَّهُ فِي ضَحْضَاحٍ مِّنَ النَّارِ. He's only like standing on a pond of hellfire. Because of me. I was the medium. Allah, because of me, didn't burn him fully. He burned him half. This is Abu Talib alayhi salam. This is why I will never accept a hadith from Abu Hurairah. You know, one day they ask Amir al-Mu'mineen, they tell him, Ya Ali ibn Abi Talib, they're saying your father is in hellfire. What do you say about that? You know what he tells them? The man that tells him, he tells him, be quiet, may Allah shatter your teeth. They tell him, okay, then how come? He tells him, my father is in hellfire and his son is Qasimul Nari wal Jannah. His son is Qasimul Jannati wal Nar. You want the father to be burning in hellfire? And lastly, my dear brothers and sisters, the fake news that resulted in the martyrdom of Abi Abdullah al-Hussein. What did they say about Imam al-Hussein? They said he is a man that is a khariji, a stranger that wants to tackle and topple the government of Amir al-Mu'mineen, Yazid ibn Muawiyah. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam is now being called a khariji. Khariji. And they bring a fatwa, just like the muftis right now, in the Muslim, so-called Muslim countries, that Imam al-Hussein is not a Muslim because he is exiting to revolt the government of his grandfather Rasulullah. Yazid, Imam al-Hussein is a Khariji. A mufti by the name of Shuraih al-Qadhi. He says, yes, it is halal to spill the blood of the grandson of Rasulullah. He gives them fatwa that it is okay. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, brutally massacred, brutally killed on the plains of Karbala. My dear brothers and sisters, I want to take you to a moment after Karbala. One day, they come to Imam Zayn al-Abidin. They tell him, Yabna Rasulullah, what broke your heart? You witnessed the martyrdom of your father, your uncle, your siblings, your cousins, your companions. What moment broke your heart, Yabna Rasulullah? You know what he says? He says, one man, he did 3 things that broke my heart. He struck 3 strikes that broke my heart. He did not use a sword. He used 3 arrows that broke my heart. Who is it, Yabna Rasulullah? He tells them it was Harmalah. Harmalah. He was the one that broke our heart. He was the one that broke the hearts of the women of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. They tell him, what did he do? He said, he killed our father. And he attacked our uncle. And he killed my infant little brother, Abdullah. Then Imam Zain al-Abidin, he raises his hand to the sky. And he doesn't pray to eliminate all of the enemies. No, he only makes one simple dua. He says, Allahumma al'an harmalah. Allahumma al'an harmalah. Allahumma adhiq harmala harra al-hadid. May Allah burn Harmala the same way He burned our hearts. May Allah boil Harmala in Nar Jahannam the same way He boiled the heart of my aunt Zainab. The same way He made the heart of Sukaina boil. May Allah boil and burn the heart of Harmala. This same man that asked Imam Zain al-Abidin, he goes to Kufa later on and he sees Mukhtar. Everything is in his hands and he is killing those that murdered Imam al-Hussein, those that attacked Imam al-Hussein, the army of Ibn Ziyad, the army of Ibn Sa'd. And he sees them trialing who? Harmala. And Mukhtar brings Harmala in the palace of Kufa, and he tells him, Ya Harmala, I'm not going to kill you unless you tell me what you did to the heart of Zain al-Abidin. Tell me what kind of animosity did you have towards this man. You know, Zain al-Abidin did not complain about anything. He just complained about you, Harmala. Tell me what you did to the heart of Zain al-Abidin. He told him, Ya Mukhtar, I did 3 major things on the day of Ashura. Number 1, I used a 3-headed arrow that speared the eyes of Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas. What's the second thing that you did, Ya Harmala? He tells him, with a 3-headed arrow, I speared the chest of Hussein. The moment he released the cloth that he was wearing to wipe the blood on his face, with a 3-headed arrow, I speared the chest of Abu Abdullah. He tells him, what's the last one? Harmala tells him, I can't say it. I don't have the energy to say it. He tells him, what is it? Ya Harmala, tell me what you did. He tells him, the last moment before Abi Abdullah went into the battle, I saw his sister Zainab walking outside the khayma with a 6-month infant in her lap. She brings him to Abu Abdullah. She tells him, Ya Abu Abdullah, please go and take him to the enemies. Maybe they will give him a drop of water. Imam al-Hussein takes the infant and Sayyida Zainab tells him, خُذْهُ لَقَدْ وَاللَّهِ جَفَّ اللَّبَنُ فِي ثَدْيِ أُمِّهِ. There is no milk that his mom can feed him anymore. Imam al-Hussein takes him to the enemy and he raises him to the skies and he tells them, oh people, إِن كَانَ لِي ذَنبٌ فَمَا ذَنبُ هَذَا الرَّضِيعِ. If I've done anything wrong, if I've wronged any of you, what did the 6-month baby do to you? Have mercy, show him mercy. إن كان لي ذنب فما ذنب الرضيع. Some of the enemies were saying, feed him water, give him water. Some were saying, do not, until I hear the voice of Umar ibn Sa'd. Ya Harmala, اقطع نزاع القوم, cut the chaos. Don't let them speak and talk. And then I put the 3-headed arrow in my bow. And I look at the whiteness of the neck of Abdullah. And I strike that little baby while he was in the lap of his father. وَلَقَدْ ذَبَحْتَهُ مِنَ الْوَرِيدِ إِلَى الْوَرِيدِ أَيْنَ الْمُنَادِي وَعَلِيَا. He tells him, that's not it, Ya Mukhtar. You know what happened later? I saw this little infant taking his head outside, and he hugs his father, Hussein. Imam al-Hussein then takes his little son to the khayma. The first one to greet him was Sukaina. She comes running. She tells him, oh father, have you kept a drop of water for me? I am thirsty. Imam al-Hussein tells her, خذي أخاك مذبوح. Here is your brother slain in his blood. Imam al-Hussein did not have the heart to show Abdullah to his mother Rabab. With his sword, he digs a grave for him and buries him. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون والعاقبة للمتقين. Brothers and sisters, I took a lot of the time. Let us quickly go into the Urdu program. والفاتحة لشفاء المرضى وقضاء الحوائج. نهدي ثواب الفاتحة مع الصلاة على محمد وآل محمد.